Welcome back. This will be part 4, I believe. Excuse me. And I've been busy. I got a little bit ahead of myself because where we left off was we connected everything and then it was time for wiring. And whoops, sorry about that. Wiring was quite something. We put in this little plug and then had to run this wire all throughout inside the ship through these holes. And then there's 3 more to keep running as we add stuff. And I imagine this longest one is going to be the lights above the mast there. And every wire is different length and they're not like labeled. They're only labeled at the base. See, man, it was... You didn't want to be around for that, trust me. But I made a few other structures here. I got these ready to go. All these holes have to be punched out and everything, so I got all that ready. And the last part, we didn't have this on yet or any of this. So here's those fancy promenade decks then. There must have been 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then another 4 on the other side. And then this will be the bridge up here, but I don't know exactly what's going on here right now. So page 15, the stern's back here, and I've got this part here I made for the back, and it goes. You know, at some point I knew what all these parts of the ship were called. Oh my goodness, we got more wiring to run here now. This thing is very impressively complex. Okay, so this wire and this wire have to go up through this thing. So that's not too bad. Let's get that done. Me and my sister kind of looked up. My sister bought this for me, and she found it at Costco, which I don't know if Costco buys closeouts and stuff. They must. I mean, if they get a pallet of these type puzzles, I'm sure that's not something they ordered, but they kind of got through a closeout. Like they're a wholesaler, almost like a liquidator, aren't they? Aren't they? But anyways, we looked up the company, this Puzz 4D Puzz, I don't know, Architect series, and we couldn't find any of these. Like I say, she bought it at Costco, and if they're there still, I have no idea, but this company does have a website with all kinds of famous movie props and famous buildings like St. Paul's Cathedral and what else was there? Notre Dame in France. Okay, that looks like it's all the way there. So yeah, anyways, 3D, 4D Puzz. I don't know how you say that, but I'm so impressed with this model because of its like ingenuity. Like everything's so well thought out. All right, now let's try and get these all to go in here together. Everything fits like just so. So that'll fit down together. Okay, it started to go in. Look at that. Everything seems flush and whatnot. Maybe a little bit more there and there. There we go. Now the next piece here is, so that's there. The next piece I built was this. And it all kind of gets put together with this stuff, it looks like. Look at the detail here, even with the little stairs. Just amazing. Oh yeah, so this just goes like that. And then these connect and become one piece. Come on, baby. There we go. And the port side, wait a minute. Yeah, port, left. The only reason I remember that is because port has 4 letters and so does left. Actually, here's a bit of interesting trivia. When they were about to hit the iceberg, they turned left because the iceberg was on the right. So when they saw it, they tried to turn left. And I think in the movie, he says hard to port. But that's actually wrong. And James Cameron, in an interview, I heard him say he had some sleepless nights because he didn't know what to do there. Because they actually did turn left. And port is the left side. But if you wanted to make a port turn, you would actually say hard to starboard, because you weren't really steering the ship when you were adjusting the wheel. You were kind of pointing the back around. So if you wanted to go left, you would eventually go left if you swung the back out to the right. So if you wanted to miss the iceberg along the left side, he actually commanded hard to starboard. So the back of the boat would swing out starboard. And then you'd eventually go left. But why that's important is because out on the open seas, I mean, it doesn't really matter. There's not a lot of obstacles, usually. But when you're in port and you want to dodge stuff, or like, if a ship's coming your way, you want to swing your ship away in a way that makes sense, and the back end is what swings away. So even though you maybe did a port turn, you'd eventually be going in starboard direction, and I knew all that. So anyways, James Cameron in the movie had Lightoller, I think, or what was the name of that guy who was second in command? Looks like that goes in there. Little door. He actually had him say hard to port, even though the correct thing was starboard, because he knew that armchair ship captains would be going, hey, he actually went port, not starboard, or whatever it was. So he thought he would just keep it simple. That was a long explanation, but you know what? It got me all the way off through building this piece. So it served its purpose. Okay, now. Geez, you need more room here. Put that up for now. Oh. So this piece goes into which holes? Well, it almost has to be just those ones, doesn't it? Yeah, not too many options here. I'm going to pinch these down a bit because to get these started when there's so many of them can be tricky. So, let's see what we can do. Start these first three first, maybe? Nope. Like that. Snagging on something. What's going on here? Well, that's all going in. As is those. Work my way around here. Oh, I forgot 2 knockouts there. Where's my little tool? Big windows of some sort. Okay, that all looks good. In there, solid. Very cool. I got these lights brought up. Okay, next page. I think, ladies and gentlemen, this is the biggest part of the deck. And is it this piece? 25? Oh, it is. This is one of those fold-out pieces. With a million little holes to knock out of it. And it looks like it will go somewhat like, geesh. Looks like it'll go this way. But I got a lot of work to do to get all that done. And then I've got to find number 145. Let's look for 145, another big piece of decking. Nope. That'd be the bow and the stern. The poop deck. I don't know why it's called the poop deck. I don't. It's got nothing to do with taking your dogs back there. But, and that's right, the first class dogs would go back there to do their business. Because, of course, there's third class back there. What are you looking for? 145? Yeah, that's it. But it always means the back part of the ship. Or the back deck. The most rearward accessible deck is the poop deck. Don't know why. If anyone out there knows, shout out the answer. Now let's get this out of here too. So sorry I didn't film any of the light installation with the wiring and everything, but man, that was a nasty task of running a wire through, looking back to check to see, and then I actually missed a couple holes a couple times, so I had to unloop it all and backtrack. Oh, there's even some, this puzzle, they put every single, there's a bunch of 10s there. It looks like a, I don't know what that is. I'll have to see. But there's no wasted space on this thing, I'm telling you. I'm surprised the part isn't even in that cutout. Because man, oh man. So here's where I go to work with my little tedious tool here. Getting all these connection spots out. I wonder if I should have tested the lights before I ran them all. I suppose I still could while everything's exposed, but I don't know, would that take away from the big reveal at the end? Let's just trust that they work and see it in its complete glory when it's finished. What do you think? Good, I agree. You know these big ships they used to make? Well, and still do. They obviously do still make big ships, but these ones that were so glamorous. It's such a shame because they all get old, you know, like even in like the Titanic had the two sister ships. I'm supposed to knock those out? I guess I am. But anyways, my point is they all get so old. You know, like the Britannic, I think, was sunk in World War II or World War One, and the Olympic, I think, made it to the 30s. But you know, it's so hard to maintain a ship that size, and they get kind of so grimy and worn out because, I mean, they're seeing so much salt water and use to update them is just not cost effective. I mean, the design changes so frequently back then. I mean, you know, like in 1912 and 1940, I'm sure they would have been going to diesel engines already. And I know that 30 years old for something like this seems kind of young, but really, it's rare to have a car that old. You know, I drive a 30-year-old vehicle, but that's different. It's not a sea-going vessel carrying thousands of people, is it? So I guess what I'm saying is it's kind of sad to see them get old anyway. It's even sadder to see them sink before they get a chance to have any life, but it's rarely a very heroic ending for these fantastic vessels, is my point. I wonder what these metal looking parts on the edge here are. Done. So let's try and get this piece on. And it looks like we are looking at the wrong side. Because it's showing me the front of our little viewport here. And this goes on. Oh man, they want me to hook this together with that right away. I don't think that's necessary. But I do have to bring up, not this big long spool, but the blue one. It's not actually blue, but they do the blue color on the printout here. Come on, you little devil. Alright, doesn't look like he has too much further to go. To complete his light. Now they want me to come up through here. I mean, I'm sure this doesn't matter. They're just trying to get as many bulbs in as many places they can, so it looks nicest. Then up here, then down through there. But yeah, I'm never gonna be able to pull that taunt. Anyway, we go up through there. Oh no, wait. I want to go up through there, and down through there, and up through there. Now let's try and, this is the part that's ridiculous, because I can't feed this too well while my hand is in there, because it doesn't fit. But it seemed to work out. And then just wind it around here is what they say. And it goes on out. Jeez, this is the stuff that's... So those, okay, right there. So those two, use these as pinching. Geez, that doesn't look like the right... Oh, it's these two. There we go, see? They thought of it for me. See, this is the tedious stuff you guys don't want to watch. You just want to see the progression. Am I wrong? Geez, is there a problem here? Doesn't look like this fits, actually. Can't be. Yeah, that piece is on upside down. Man, oh man. Well, we'll fix this problem and come back. Yes. That means I gotta redo all that wiring. Yep. That piece is on wrong. I could just snip the tops of those two off. These two pieces here are sticking up, but they actually go down. So I put that piece on backwards. Which makes sense because there's holes for it there. So, yeah, I gotta take that entire piece apart. All right, well, bye for now.